High Quality Conversation, Episode 2. I'm your host, Avion Smith, and this is the show where weekly, supposed to be at least, right? We're all human. We're all human, but weekly, I'm going to be talking about some things that I found interesting, but most of all, made me chuckle a little, right? So we have a good show on today. We have a good slate. To open up the show, it's not a sports show, of course. That's my Players Club podcast. This is high quality conversation where I get a little heezy and talk a little junk. But we got a full plate today. We have at the D1 to DUI pipeline first. It's not going to be a sports one, but really we're going to talk about how a lot of young men in this world are being offered these amazing things and it's really leading to their demise. And who's to blame? Personally, I don't really think it's them. I think at some point we have to look at the adults, right? So we're going to open up the show with that. We're going to talk about some white people music that's been going viral. I mean, wowza, some of the worst stuff I've ever seen. Um Horizon, this movie Horizon came out and a stunt double was actually unscriptedly added to uh an assault scene, a sexual assault scene, and now she's suing basically the directors or whatever the hell, the whatever. So we're gonna get into that. Diddy trial, a little bit of Diddy trial. Oh, and just some Trump stuff. And I don't want you guys to think I'm anti-Trump. I want you guys to know that I think he is the biggest idiot and the biggest loser to have ever stepped into politics in our history. I want you to know that. Okay. So if you were that as like, oh, bro, he's fucking anti, you should be anti dumb people. And I'm not saying you're dumb for voting for him because I haven't asked you why yet. Okay. Because if you told me, I voted for him because I'm actually fucking over half this country too. Bet. Stand on that. But understand that he's completely a little funny, right? We'll call him a little funny because I don't want to, we don't drop R bombs anymore. That's just for the people who voted for him, right? You guys like those words. I could use them, but no. Real talk. It's actually about the visa halting, the social media vetting, and also my nieces came here. They just came in the house, but the judge halting it, and also the continuous disputes against highly educated people within maybe an Ivy League community, specifically Harvard this time around, but plenty of Ivy League communities have kind of spoken up against him. Because a lot of these institutions do actually, in fact, love having the opportunity to give people from other countries to expand our knowledge because maybe they do know a little bit of something else, you know? I understand where all that comes from, but we're going to roll it right back to the top, okay? So if you maybe just don't, at least that one's in the end, so you could listen to like 35 minutes of this before you go, this guy's a bitch.
What is this guy? A libtard? What is this guy?
No, I'm not. I'm a, I'm a, I'm just a guy, I guess. But back to the D1 to DUI pipeline, right? You got kids working their entire lives. You got kids working their entire lives. A lot of them from the gutter, you know. I'm not saying like it, but I would say a lot of the time to become that premier athlete, to be a 5-star athlete, you can really look at a lot of those people's lives and where they came from and how they made it out and how successful, even maybe not in just college, but in the NFL. Going through things attributes, if you can work past those things and look at yourself in the face and attach yourself to something and work really hard, a lot of those people do with sports. They do that, right? And then at 18, it all worked out. They're getting this D1 scholarship to this huge school, to Georgia, to Texas, to Alabama, to Ohio State, wherever it may be. And not only are you going to get a scholarship, but now you're having money offered too, right? NIL, unlimited money fund, basically, right? Sorry, laughing her butt off, little kid laughing. Um, but that's now added to the equation. And now you're like, wait, I'm not just getting unlimited pussy and free drinks for the next 5 years and also like a scholarship and also all this stuff. I want them to be paid. Don't think I'm not going in that direction. That's not what I'm saying. But there needs to be a line, okay? I don't think people who have dedicated their entire lives to a singular thing and only that one thing are at the point in their lives probably where they can make the right decisions. And I think that's where coaches, ADs, parents, like in my opinion, if you walk into my house and my son, hopefully he's going to have the opportunity to be very much more understanding of what I'm saying to him. But if he's good enough to dedicate his life and go become that athlete that gets $120,000 car, if a coach walks into me and goes, not only are we going to get a scholarship, but and he rings those keys in front of me, I'm going to ask him to leave and I'm going to say what he did was disrespectful. And I'm going to tell him that he doesn't care about the well-being of the children that he wants to coach and he only cares about his own success. That's exactly what I'm going to say to him. Okay. And I think a lot of these parents need to start doing the same thing. I don't think a person who's going to be living in the dorms the first year in Alabama, I've been to Alabama. My friend graduated from there. There is nothing to do in Alabama where you need to drive that fast ever because it is truly a college town. Everything is a 5 to 10 minute Uber everywhere and you make enough money to where that's nothing. So these cars are truly unnecessary in some of these aspects, right? Now going forward, I'd like to think and now when you're hearing me say this, right, I don't want you to think I'm calling athletes dumb. I'm saying when you dedicate yourself to something, you're obviously not going to be opening it up to other things. And I think even me as an athlete didn't understand that. I had cousins who went D1, right? And there's a certain level of dedication. It just comes with, yeah, all I do is ball, play the PlayStation, and even that I'm only playing sports games, right? And it's probably football too, or basketball, or whatever sport you play. So your whole life's engulfed in said sport. You're not on your phone scrolling and looking at news. You're not looking at unless it's football news, right? So why in the hell would they be the ones to be able to make the great decision of, you know what, I only live like 5 minutes down the street. I'm blacked out drunk. There's no way. There's hot chicks with me. I'm going to drive home. No one's going to stop me. What's going to happen? You just killed someone, right? Um, but back to what I was saying, I mean, I would like to think that the person I am would be able to really distinguish the situation, understand that I can't drive this car right now. But that goes into what I'm saying. I didn't get a D1 scholarship. I was not a 5-star athlete. I did not dedicate myself to it like that. So of course, when I'm thinking about it, I'm like, shit, I would never do that. Um, Honestly, and what's funny too, I that's just me being probably really generous to myself. I probably would have. I used to drunk drive all the time as a kid because I used to say the same exact thing. So even me, right? Even a person who was like to think that I would make different decisions. These are kids getting their so much handed in front of them. So I would just keep that into account when giving someone a car that can go 120 miles per hour in 3.5 seconds. Sometimes pussy and money is just enough. Get an Uber, okay? You have a penthouse. You don't need to have every minute of your life to be some fantasy. This isn't fucking ballers, you know? This isn't ballers. And we've seen examples time and time again of what it turns into. Um you end up not stopping, you end up doing it more, you end up getting kicked off the team and the coach is all pissed off, but you're the one that gave him the car. Kind of ironic, huh? It's almost like you're setting someone up for failure. It's almost like you're not taking care of someone. At 18, I was drunk driving every other weekend. I was doing drugs every day. Every other weekend, I was doing some other things. And then what else? You but even me, I feel like if you looked at me and said, "What about this car too?" I would look at you and go, "Yo, this is like a setup." I've never been the type to drive fast. I can drive fast. I can drive well too. I know some of my New York friends that might be listening. Oh, well, you be cutting up in traffic? I have a couple videos. I'm never going to do it again. I'm never going to do that again because I'm not going to put my life and at risk for others. And I don't have shit. I'm a loser and I'm not going to put other people's lives at risk. Motherfucker, you shouldn't even put yourself at risk. Fuck other people. That's what I'm saying. So at 18, though, at 17, 18, 19, you have kids going to bars who are allowed in because they're on the football team. So they're drinking. So they're already thinking they're above the law. And now they're going to drunk drive home with the car that you gave them. You just killed 3 people. Sarkisian. He's a Texas football head coach. Sarkisian. No. I know you just got 2 5-star recruits, but one of them just hit a tree at 120. That's the kind of shit that is just like, yo, you really need to think grand scheme of things here. Because if you're not willing to help these kids out for them thinking in the next 4 to 5 years, because you have to play 3 years in college football, you have to be there 3 years minimum. So, hello, it'd be really nice if some of them could make it to maybe 3, 4, 5. Depending on who you are, maybe you get 6 years eligibility. Fuck that though. But yeah, man. I mean, I understand the topic's not like funny, but it's like, why do we keep doing this? All because it's worth a 5 4-star recruit? You're risking their lives? All you want to do, all you've done your whole life is impress people, play football, you're this or that. And then off the field, they're expecting the same thing rather than being their own person and letting them be their own thing. Instead, you're just feeding into the narrative. You're feeding into the stereotype. You're feeding into what people think of these individuals and have thought of them for years. And it's almost like you think the same of them too when you give an 18-year-old who's just from he didn't even have a car before this, and you think he can handle that engine? You're a fucking liar. You're a fucking liar, and you don't give a fuck. So, great football team, great recruiting class, Texas, but a lot of these SEC schools have to lock in, dog, because a lot of these players, the ones that you want to keep, are going to get kicked the fuck off the team and ruin their lives because of the things that you gave them. Next. Because I'm not preaching, okay? And that wasn't even that funny. That shit maybe actually just bothered me. But let me tell you this. There's a thing that's been happening too. I've talked about Benson Boone a little bit in the past, maybe my last episode. Very basic white people music. Said some crazy shit like, oh, I can't be America's sex icon. Buddy, you're not. You don't get anybody's juices flowing. You seem like the type to punch holes in walls in arguments. You seem like the type to maybe even punch yourself in arguments, like with their girl. No, but I love you. You know what I'm saying? That kind of type. He seems... But let's keep it to the music, right? But that's not really the point. Him, and then there's this guy. There's this guy that I've been seeing. He sings in front of a crowd of a bunch of other whites with no shoes on, and he's like 5'2", and the lyrics go something like, you get married next year in the summer, have another kid, and it's funny because I'm actually giving him a lot of credit here. If you actually heard that, I'll just play it in probably the video, but you'll get married in a year and 3, and you'll think you'll be living the American dream. Yo, buddy, I think it's just weird how, like, these individuals, like, these are kind of the same types that I talked about in California, who just, like, take these, like, weird trips and try to figure stuff out, but really don't figure anything out, and really their life is really cliche and simple, and they make it out to be way more complicated than it really is, and it's really simple and stupid, and you actually don't sing that good. Okay, you're real emotional. Maybe okay, I get the lyrics, they're super basic. But I think it's weird how like it's always back to this. It's always back to this weird like, yo, buddy, like just move on. That was high school, like beers. Oh, it's just really the lyrics for me. Like, you're talking about a girl who's gonna get married, have a kid, and you think you're living the it sounds like she's doing a lot better than you. Cause you're not even barefoot. You have socks on outside, actually, which is even worse somehow. And you're talking about this. She's doing better than you right now. She is a family. You look like you smell. You do. You look like you smell. You're on your tippy toes singing some horrible song. And all you really had to do was just get over a random chick. Like, is this like this is like a 40-year-old singing about a chick who he was talking to when he was 16. This is the same joke me and my friends like super ironically make. Like a girlfriend my friend might have had when he was like 14. I'll go like, "You still love her, huh? You still miss her?" He actually misses her. He's 40. He's 40 and a drug addict. Talking about you'll be married, have kids, and you think that's the American dream. I don't think that's the American dream. I just think that's like some people's just dream to be like married and stable and have a family and all this stuff. But like, how the fuck do we always get here? I thought I I my first introduction to it was like Taylor Swift, right? I'm not hating. I'm just saying that was my first introduction to true white people core music. I didn't think it could reach a point like this. Um, I hope he stops. I hope he gets a job. And I hope he stops telling his family that he's a successful artist because he has 20,000 followers on Instagram, or excuse me, on TikTok. And I don't know. I don't know. Yo, this thing's turning around. I'm going viral right now. Come here. They're not laughing with you, buddy. I'm laughing at you. I truly think this is one of the worst videos to hit the internet, and this is gonna be remembered this year in the yearly meme recap. It's gonna be you standing on your toes, talking about a chick who you actually never even talked to. That's another thing. Bro, there's no way this dude gets pussy, bro. There's no or anything he likes. Anything they like. I don't know what he is. But from what I'm understanding, he likes women who are going to get married and have a family and all this stuff that he could never get with because he's probably an imaginative person, right? If you told me this guy was schizophrenic and the woman isn't even real, this is a show now. Because that would explain all the weird things he does. Like his you could literally see every vocal note in his fucking throat veining in his red, just like if you told me this guy is like some funny schizophrenic artist and this girl isn't even real, he's like, actually, she's talking to me right now. Boom. Showtime. But buddy, you gotta give it up. Um, oh, and okay, if you guys don't know, Kyle Gordon, he's this stand-up comedian. He also does a bunch of skits. He's been really popular because of his funny music recently too. He makes like funny indie. He's make fun of it, right? But he made a song with them, and it's funny because people were literally saying like, "I thought this was like some Kyle Gordon joke." I didn't think I knew it wasn't a joke because I know we live in a crazy time where people think music like this should like pay their bills, but it shouldn't. And actually, no one should hear this. It's funny too because, like I said, I grew up so like in high school when I moved over back to America, so like middle class. What he's describing is like every guy from my high school who didn't get over his ex. Now you're singing about it? Yo, bro, cut that shit out. Cut that shit out. And I saw in the comments like some people were even like, "Yo, I seen him, I seen him live, and actually just really emotional. I just think he should tone down that, and like his vocals were probably coming. We feel bad for you. That's why people are saying that. They didn't know you were performing. They didn't go see you. They coincidentally saw you and were like, "Oh my god, maybe this guy should have probably just went to therapy and got a job and finished college." If you finish college, don't make a video going, "And actually, I finished college." And actually, shut up. Shut up. You disgust me. Next. Next. We right. Next. Okay. White people music. I could make a country song in a millisecond. I could. Said I knew you back then and it's been a while. What can I do to just make you smile? You told me you got a divorce few years ago. Oh, now I know I need you, baby girl, and I know you got some problems too. And I don't care what it really takes, 'cause I've always loved you. You get me? I could do that off the top of my head, and that's what he's doing, but extremely and emotionally and weirdly and like making it really awkward. And I would never want to actually see this in person. And I would hope he stops soon, but he won't, because virality means popularity, means I'm gonna do this more. And maybe it'll lead to some money. Maybe he'll be able to fund his meth addiction. Who knows? Who knows? Okay, next. Actually, next. I wrote down gay cowboys, but that wasn't the reason. The reason was because I didn't see the movie Horizon. I actually read about this very slightly off the Daily Mail, which, of course, whatever. But let's get this right. Her name. I didn't write down her name. Okay, I'm a dick. But a stunt double in the movie. I want to say her name was Dylan. It started with an S. Stunt double, unscripted. They had her do a sexual assault slash I don't even give a fuck really, but a riot scene. And then now she's suing. Now, some of you's first reaction will go, "Oh, well, it's just a scene. Like, she didn't have to do." No, okay. This is a stunt double. You think about the moment. You think you're feeling comfortable. You think they're going to make you feel comfortable. And then all of a sudden, you're in a position that you have never actually felt before. And it's actually really uncomfortable. It's kind of like when I say, like, or you ever hear a guy go, "Yeah, I just want an angry Latina that'll just like fucking snap at me." No, you don't. You want someone who abuses you? No, like, no. He's like, no, not like, no. That's what you're saying. You want a genuinely nice person and you're attracted to Hispanic people a lot. For sure. Do not say that, like, you understand what you're getting into until you get into it, right? So I totally get the thought process of like, "Oh, yeah, like, sure, maybe I'll do it." And also too, like, cool. But once you get in there and do it, the people that are involved, like, why didn't the other chick do it? Like, why didn't the main chick do it? Did she feel it? I'm not really sure what led to these moments, but she's suing for it and it was unscripted. So generally speaking, I know it's like a lot of people might say, like, "Oh, well, this is just another moment of where someone feels uncomfortable and now they're suing." I wouldn't necessarily say that. I would say a person was put in a position where that they originally weren't in. Let's take out the sexual assault scene, right? Scene. She wasn't assaulted. She was in a scene, by the way. So I, again, understand where you guys are coming from. But a stunt double was asked not to do a stunt, but to do a scene. So now we're already in a different realm of things, right? Said stunt double was asked to do a sexual assault scene where she was being assaulted sexually, not her vice versa. That's another point. So there's already two moments in this story where if I was on set, if I was a producer or a director, I would go, "Yo, okay, if it was one thing like, yo, do you want to do this scene really quick, actually? Because I actually think might even be fine the way you're standing. It's fine. It would be better if that's just a scene. That's cool, right? The moment we said another thing where it's like, oh, and by the way, you're gonna get raped in this scene, I I I would go, yo. We should probably have the real actress get pretend raped in this scene, not a not a stunt double who's used to maybe doing backflips sometimes. You get what I'm saying? So this is where we start getting into mental gymnastics, where I am not apologetic to anybody who's like, or excuse me, I'm not apologetic to anybody in the industry who's like, oh, like, what people just blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no. You did something that probably should never have been done. It's like when Tom Cruise got angry at the on the set of Mission Impossible 7. If you have not listened to that video, you should listen to it. He goes the fuck off. He talks about how the industry is dying because of moments like this where motherfuckers don't give a fuck and they're just doing shit. Illegal things. Not and I'm not saying this she did the scene. I'm saying they were breaking protocols on in Mission Impossible 7 and that voice audio of him going off, cursing at everyone. You'll get fucking fired if you do it again. That's people were like, well, don't you think that's kind of a toxic work environment? Toxic work environment. He was screaming at all of you because you guys were about to get everybody fired, including him. And he's the only one who could actually probably benefit from getting fired because he'll just sit at home and listen to Scientology videos and jerk off and still make money. So, no, Tom Cruise wasn't wrong at all because he actually cares about his job and the people who actually care about their job and the truly the movie industry. Truly. I think if Tom Cruise was on said set, I think he would go, "Oh, you guys are gonna have her do a scene? That's cool. Maybe her face can even get shown just a little bit too, huh? That'd be pretty cool." And then they'd be like, "Oh no, like her face isn't gonna be in it." They're like, he's like, "Oh well, what? Oh, so it's just a basic. Like she doing like some stunts or something?" "Oh, I mean, sort of a stunt, but like her face isn't gonna be in it. Where's it gonna be?" "Stuffed in a pillow because she's gonna get raped in this scene." Bro, stunt double? Stunt? Aren't we actors and actresses? Aren't you supposed to be giving off the motion? This bitch is supposed to be doing backflips. Aren't you the actress? I don't know. See, that's it. I don't know. Take my mic away. Say what I want. I hope she gets I hope she gets the money out of this. I don't know how much she is suing for. I genuinely believe you call it what you want, but should have this thing have happened? No, right? So you're upset because something that shouldn't have happened and now you're facing repercussions for it. Yes or no? The answer is yes. That's all I'm saying. Okay? If you guys think that every woman in the world, this stunt double worked her whole life to become an on television stunt double in some really cool movies, and she, maybe has some fun time doing some acrobats and shit too. Do you think in an instant when they asked her, yo, do you want to be a part of this scene? And she's like, yeah, what is it? That's cool. And they tell her what it is. She went, money, 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 money. I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. If she did, so be it. But something that shouldn't have happened by the book and was not by the book because it was unscripted happened. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So I would not, in your regards, be upset at an individual who was not forced, but was made to be uncomfortable in a position that she has never and thought never would happen. Because you're asking a stunt double to act. And to her, there's a certain mindset to, I'm sure, what she does and what other people do. And what if there are plenty of actresses and probably stunt doubles that have been assaulted, and there are plenty of people in general that have been assaulted. So now you're breaching another thing. Like, what if it brought up some emotions in her that she didn't really understand or realize at the time or even realize it? There's a plethora of things that could have happened in that moment. But generally speaking, she should not have been the one acting. She should have been the one sprinting, horseback riding, because it's called Horizon. Fucking cowboys. I don't fucking know. But you get me? That would be like, oh no, Gwyneth Paltrow broke her fucking leg doing a backflip off a horse. Why was Gwyneth Paltrow doing a backflip off a horse? That's stupid. And she's suing them? Oh my gosh. Well, she did it. I mean, by the same time, why they ask her to do a backflip off a horse? They have a stunt double. Gotcha. Okay, that's it. That's all I'm saying. That's genuinely all I'm saying. Some people are saying it's Kevin Costner. I'm sorry that I don't know. I don't even know if he's in the movie. I haven't seen the movie. Next. Oh my gosh. The Diddy trial. We're going to talk about the Diddy trial. We're going to talk about how probably everyone shouldn't have a plethora of success and money, what it does to people, but also it's pretty interesting how so many people have stories. There are so many photos, there are so many stories, and people thought that there was this funny inner circle to it all. It turns out there was just him, probably upwards to 1,000 people, including anything, all of them probably having stature in some sort of music or video or movie or some sort of kind of stature in the game in Hollywood. And he just pick and choose whoever he would have a freak off with. That's crazy to me. Like, if you said Kid Cudi, I'm thinking of so many other people now too. And then when you said Sierra, I was thinking of so many other people too. And then you see other people at these parties. And of course, there's like cameras everywhere. Like, you can't start saying like LeBron fucked them. You know what I mean? But the amount of stories coming out are crazy and at length at what's happening. Um, I guess during Kid Cudi's part, he was referencing a moment in time where they were uh they were at the house, and I guess some people were leaving, some people were staying, and it just really turned into the classic cliche, come on in, come on over, look at these people having sex. That's pretty hot too. Let's join. I don't know, bro. Like, and then you look back at people's careers and their lives and what really tripped them out. And these are the moments that people said, this is Hollywood backdoors. But you start thinking about it's Hollywood, buddy. No, it's the people literally in it themselves. Because when people get money, power, success, they go fucking nuts. Even me, I was making a joke once to my friends. I said, you know how people have, I brought this up. I said, you know how people have, and I genuinely said this out loud. This wasn't even really a joke. I was like, you know how people have mock weddings, right? Usually it's amongst friends, like two friends that are just having a fun time. Everyone's drunk, giving funny speeches. It was really a fraternity thing when I was in college, mock weddings. Um, I was like, what if we had like a mock strip club? And they were like, what? I was like, yeah, like there'd be like a couple poles, people could just dance around, but every so often there'd be like a highlight where someone would get like a 1 minute strip sesh, you know? And it would just be fun. Your friends would just be having fun. And my friend said, okay, Diddy. Bro, I didn't even realize what I was saying. I didn't even realize the capacity at which I was speaking. That is how easy it is. I literally was like, and I don't know. I'm just a fun guy. To me, that just sounded like a fun time. I wasn't trying to fuck anybody. I'm not saying anyone should get naked. I'm just saying it'd be really fun to have a little strip off, bikinis and underwear on, maybe one off. But no, and I just immediately started bursting out laughing. I was like, oh my God, like, yes, it is, motherfucker. Could you now imagine if you're an actual freak and an actual person with money, an actual person with power, an actual person with all this shit, man, you could tell me any story that happened in that house in that big ass bed outdoors, and I'd believe you. Because I don't get him. I get it. I get what having power does. I was I've never actually had any real position of power besides maybe you know what, fuck it. Um my friends might deny it, but I am friend group leader. Okay? If you're listening to this, it's me. Fuck you, Bats. Fuck you, Devin. Um no, but back to the point. Having power, having money, having privacy, having NDAs, having all these things, and also knowing you've broken the law multiple times, possibly have even had a hand in possibly murdering people. You've gone up to this point, right? What's 1,000 bottles of lube? Fuck it, right? What's 1,000 bottles of lube? What's having Lenny Kravitz put a dildo in Kid Cudi's ass like once? I'd be like, hey, fuck it, because it's weird because even even in some aspects of when you look at other groups, right? Some people, the hazing in fraternities. Now, me personally, nothing happened to me. Call me a cool guy. You hear other stories from other fraternities. No, my fraternity, nothing really. I'll move over to the other people's. Okay, so it's like theirs. It's like I would hear just some very interesting things, and my first thought was, so this is what happens when you get power. I'm like, obviously you're fucking a closeted fuck. You get what I'm saying? Like shit got wind. That was my first thoughts as AT. I'm like, how? Why the fuck would he do that? And that's fucking weird, you know? And I'm sitting here and I'm just thinking, I'm like, okay, dude had power for like 10 seconds, automatically did some freaky ass shit, some weird ass shit where the kid was like, bro, what? What the fuck was that? That's his own closet. Those are his own demons under his own bed. I don't know how those two feel about each other now. But that was a 19-year-old with a slight amount of power. Now imagine Diddy. I'm just saying, I see it. I understand the pipeline. I understand how some people act with power. And I genuinely think that it's a certain type. I'm not the type. I would probably find myself with more power just shutting up and actually being way more just, I don't know. I wouldn't have shit popping like him. I'd just be having hella barbecues or some shit. Like that's the only thing that really comes to mind, right? With power, I'm like, you know what I'm gonna have power to do? I'm gonna have the power to pay for everything. So then they have to come to my barbecue. They're like, oh, I can't. I'm like, oh, my car broke down. Here's a new car. You give me that money, bro. I'm gonna hang out with people all day. Like I'm gonna have family barbecues all day. I'm not gonna have celebrities come over and do a mock human centipede. You know what I mean? I don't know. Um, but I think the trial's good too because I think it's given us a really different perspective on these people. What happens? I think it's really funny. Not funny, but I think it's weird, but also like kind of interesting how like so many people are talking about Sierra's husband. They're like, wow, like I can't believe you married this person. I can't believe like wow, like all these stories are coming out and you just you can't believe an individual who's uh been in the game forever, surrounded by a lot of powerful people. And I'm not even going into I didn't say she was a like real shit. If you guys told me like, well, have you looked at the trial? It actually comes out that she was actually enjoying. Okay, so she was in. So what the fuck are you saying, right? What are you saying? Because either you're saying someone at some because she got her ass beat, so she was beat. She was assaulted in that sense. But it's like, and probably sexually assaulted too. So it's like you're saying, oh, why would you get with someone who's been assaulted before? Don't you like what? Like they're not what? Like I don't get I just say what you want to say type shit. Just say just say just say Cassie's damaged goods. How could you ever marry a person I'm like, brother, the woman you're describing to yourself, the woman that you're going to marry, guess what? I knew her in college. She's got more mileage than a track star. She's got more mileage than a fucking Daytona 500 series, okay? She's got more mileage on her. She's got more mileage on her than you could ever than a fucking amateur porn star, than an OnlyFans model. That's the funniest thing. That's the funniest thing about it. But because someone because what? Now the whole world knows she likes anal a little bit. Isn't that exactly what you've been trying to get your fucking trad wife to do this whole time. Then you're like, oh my God, like she's just not fucking cool. And then you realize you're like, holy fuck, I'm a loser. I made up this entire thing in my head. I'm crazy. I do want the freak. I love her. You should. You should. Okay. Now, the Diddy case also to me is interesting too. Because you have his sons, he has three sons. Maybe even four, three, I believe. But his one son that's the rapper, you know why I like him? He's a fucking idiot. He's a fucking idiot. This kid not only leans into all the things that happen, but he's like, I'm my father's son, like blah blah. I'm like, you and him, what? Y'all pour oil on people and fuck them together or some shit? Walking around, go, anybody says no Diddy around me, we're running the fade. Motherfucker, you grew up in a 12-bedroom house with 14,000 acres. I'll slap the shit out you, no Diddy. You get what I'm saying? It's like I'm it like you're not moving nobody from their seat. Like here's the me. Like I say like no Diddy at a party. The average person in this world, the average human would go no Diddy. And then he go, "Yo, don't say that shit or we're running the fade," which means fight for my whites. We're running the fade. I will go, "Oh, I've been waiting for this. I'm emptying pockets. I'm emptying pockets, bro. I'm emptying. I could get knocked out, sure. But I'm just letting you know the feeling of it. I'm just letting you know how the feeling is. Damn. I've seen you dance like a dork on stage. I've seen you rap like shit. Motherfucker, there's a reason why I have a joke about why Rihanna is pretty crazy enough. I mean, you know, she's crazy enough to hit Chris Brown. That motherfucker dances like crazy. Like, based on the way he danced and beat Rihanna, I'm assuming based on the way P. Diddy's son dances, I'm beating his ass. Okay? He don't got it. But the son is almost a confirmation, in my opinion, to not only a lot of these things happening, but to them happening still and more recently, and him even being involved. And it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. I would actually really like to see his son go to prison too, not because of even anything real. Like I don't want anyone to get hurt more out of this, right? In terms of victims and even him, but I think it would just be good if they were both in prison together cuz then they could go both get fucked together too. They could continue that. They could go fuck dudes together still, you know? Because that's the American dream. Fucking dudes in prison with your dad together. That's the Diddy way. That was great. That was great. That was a really great tail off. I I just think he's fucking weird too. Like why would you like imagine if Dahmer had a kid and he leaned into that. What? Weird, right? Okay. Next and probably final. Trump and visas. Now, a lot of you are going to be like, okay, he's talking politics. I told you I was sometimes too. Trump halts this is a timeline. Trump halts visas. Judge steps in, blocks said halting. He wants to have a more extensive vetting of foreign nationals coming in to get an education because getting an education isn't a good start to them. They're like, no, 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 but you could be getting this education to destroy us later. You could be getting a socioeconomics degree from Harvard to fly a plane into us again. This is what these people think, right? We need to make sure these people haven't said anything bad about us. Haven't said fuck America, because if you're Pakistani and you said fuck America and you want to come here and get educated, well, fuck you. Wouldn't them being able to come here and get educated be a pretty good start to them maybe not going America's maybe the worst place ever? And maybe if they're surrounded by a bunch of educated people in an Ivy League community, maybe that's actually the exact place where it should be. And that's why Ivy League communities are so strongly against Trump. And in fact, upwards to 99% of them, no, truly, like 99% of faculty are voting against Trump in Ivy League communities. And that's not a joke. You could look it up. People will be like, oh, people just bring up it. I'm not lying. Quite literally, everything if I'm ever saying like like bullshit stat or whatever, well, it's actually 97. Buddy, you're fucked. Okay. So I would assume that these communities not only are for higher education, but that includes everybody. And that's what America's about. And I've told you guys that multiple times. The problem that I have with Trump is not only that he's stupid, not only that he's a reality star, but my problem is that it's almost like he lost the core values of America. Make America great again. That in itself, in my opinion, from my perspective, coming from a person who did grow up in America, who is mixed, who is, and talk about mixed, I'm talking black, Filipino, Mexican, and white. One of each, buddy. Coming from a person who grew up in a military family, who spent years overseas, who knows, who understands the military aspect in America, who does have a college education. I'm saying that make America great again, that does not represent America. What makes America great is the fact that we can constantly keep evolving and constantly keep growing and constantly be the example for the rest of the world who is now going through things that we went through years ago. Immigration, kind of too, because the world, there's not land popping up. In fact, with sea waters rising, we keep denying that shit. Who knows? Maybe there'll be less land. What makes America great is that there was no again. It's only the future. I think that truly is what can make America great right now. The fact that we can be and should be a fluid country. That's why all these things that are getting brought up, it's like, oh, like stop putting this in my face. It never was. It was this weird defining group in America, not to put people under an umbrella, but really just white upper class, evangelical class, even the ones who are saying like, oh no, like blah blah blah, like this still includes him. Look at him, motherfucker. He sold out his fellow man 150 years ago and so chose y'all. That is why there's one black family fucking here. Okay? That's exactly what happened. So don't act like it didn't. Um but it's like I think make America great again in itself is almost like a slap in the face to all you idiots thinking America's greatest moments aren't ahead of them. We've only had a handful of great moments. You could probably name them less than on like five hand on your hand, right? The only one that I can truly think about um was maybe they say no one wishes for 9/11, but they wish for a 9/12 when everyone was together. That was a moment for me. I would assume when World War II ended, that was a moment for a lot of people. But those are the only two moments right now to me that I can look at and understand and go, you know what? A lot of people get it right now. They all get it. Okay, holy fuck. Everyone got K. And in New York City, the one of the most, if not the most diverse city in America, everyone was affected. It didn't matter what race, it didn't matter what you identify as, he, she, they, them, um, gay, queer, non-binary, purple, blue, green. Everybody was affected. So I understand with and 9/12 to me, everyone says that, oh, 9/11, but I wish for a 9/12. Well, you know what else happened on 9/12? You reached your hand out and you helped out anybody. Okay? That is what makes America great. But it takes something catastrophically wrong for a number of you to realize that. And that is horrible. Horrible. The fact that you respect the president's opinion about Ivy League schools being woke bullshit and the fact that you're happy that your president is saying the words woke bullshit is crazy. Um, I'm assuming everyone in their right mind would go, yo, if you know more about me than a topic, I should probably listen. Or generally speaking, if 99% of hot people in this higher educated communities are and work there who have seen a lot of things, they're not students, they're not just 21-year-old fucking uh upper class white boys who fucking love eating California burritos but for some reason think we have a border issue. You don't even know what a you don't I'm from San Diego. Border issue? Murderers? Where? Let me know. Let me go find them, right? But because of said murderers, right? They're taking black jobs. Shane Gillis had a great joke about them. He's like, what are they being loud on buses or something? I was like, that shit was crazy. That was fire. But the point is though, in because of these reasons, you're not allowing the same individuals that you would like into this country in now. It's affecting that now. You're like, well, as long as you're coming in on the right terms and you're doing what you're really wanting to come here to better our country, that is exactly what they're doing, and now you're blocking them. Luckily, a judge blocked that. But do you understand what I'm saying? The exact thing that you were hoping for not only isn't happening, but the exact thing that you wanted is now being taken away. And I truly feel sorry for a lot of that. No president in the last 2 decades has had a larger voters' remorse. And that is not coming from a Republican. That is not coming from a Democrat. That is coming from any individual that voted for him. No president has had a higher voters' remorse rate. That is because he lied and he's dumb. That is why I don't like him, to start. Secondly, I mean, if you want to talk about a person who could represent our country in a place where culturally we needed a lot of help, COVID hit, we needed a lot of options. You made a risk, and then you made the risk again. Fool me once, right? But fool me twice. Motherfuck, bro. But fool me twice, shame on me. And that's what they're saying right now. Nigga, shame on me. Oh my God. Shame on me. I run into members of my family Hispanic. I run into members of my family who are black. Very rare. It's like 1 in fucking 30 of them. But they're probably a more conservative side. I'll cook your shit till 4 in the morning because I got time today. But that's also because I enjoy you and it's fun and it's family and it's friends. But I can't do that to everybody. I can't do that with everyone. I have to really put those feelings away and just go, okay, you're fucking, or I just know how to get. And I'm not saying we're gonna have these deep talks all the time, but I'm just saying at some point in certain friendships, when they develop and they evolve, if you and I have certain core values that we don't agree on, we're still gonna be able to evolve greatly. But it's the fact that you can't, some people, a number of Republicans, in fact, have not only used this time greatly, but have understood that this was a pretty big mistake. And I understand Kamala wasn't the strongest candidate, but in the future, if there is a better situation, I'm going to think twice about this. That's all. That's not good. You're not happy enough. I understand Trump's right now, but there is benefit to chaos. There's benefit to the fact that this motherfucker is fucking up. And we are all looking at ourselves in some reality check kind of way, you know? Smart people don't like to surround themselves with dumb people. And dumb people don't like to surround themselves with smart people. Trump has done that accordingly, and he's targeted generations of us have been highly respected, have been highly respectful to the Ivy League community and understanding what it is. Okay. And also, too, even within, if you really want to get down to brass tacks, for a long time, even within the black community, the Hispanic community, if you were to get a scholarship, right, If you got a scholarship to say where I'm from, San Diego State, Mountain West School, small. But I had a friend get an offer from maybe San Diego State, Sacramento State, cool, D1, some little bit of television, not really, but smaller D1. Or and guess where he got offered? Princeton. He went to Princeton. This motherfucker played football. He's highly educated, highly talented person. His name is Jaden. But he went to Princeton, and his that comes with a certain level of respect automatically. It's almost as if socially people look at you in a different, not even almost, people do look at you socially a different light. And once they see that you are a genuine person and educated and understand different things, um, that's what makes you just a higher educated, respectful, just really great individual. And a lot of these people are like that. Don't get me wrong, you do run into some of those assholes, Ivy League assholes, who really, it's the same people that buy way too into a fraternity, who buy way into any situation, buy into a cult. Those people are weird. But if you can look at something and go, you know what's weird? I mean, why is, like, I know I voted for him, but like, why is Trump attacking like Ivy Leagues and the CIA and the FBI? I don't know about this. Like, I think there's benefit to that. And I think there's benefit to having this very crazy thing happen to America twice. Because once wasn't enough, you got to get it twice, apparently, okay? Bush got a second shoe for a reason, right? They could have tackled that motherfucker when they threw the shoe at him. They were like, shoe? Fuck it, he has another one. Let him throw the other one. He obviously doesn't have a gun. He threw a shoe first, right? Usually you'd shoot the gun and empty the clip, and then hopefully if you don't hit him, I guess you throw the shoe. We're getting to a point where these same people that voted for, I think there's a benefit to that. I think there's a benefit to having someone throw this second term was that second shoe. It's like, yo, you fucking, yeah, this is happening. I am making horrible decisions and I don't give a fuck. And the relationships with other countries are bad. And I am thinking about trying to demolish a number of things that are probably just going to lead to me getting fucking removed from office anyways. But I ran for office just so I can get pardoned. And pardon other people who defrauded $30 million of from banks and people. Right. You could be anything. I don't care what you are, who you are, what you represent politically. If you started listening to things that I said, even just generally speaking, I would tell you that person does not deserve to be in office. Now, unfortunately, right now, the Democrats pretty much only have one option if they want to play it safe. If they wanted to play it the safest, which is really fucked up to say, they just get a basic white male. Probably, Newsom's a fucking asshole, but I don't know. You know what I mean? But there's also a couple people on the East Coast that I'm really happy about. I'm going to start getting more into that too. I haven't read on anything since probably like 5 months. It's been like 5 months since I've actually looked into any candidates possibly. But I think if they wanted to play it safe, they would have a man in general. White male, if they want to just really be assholes and just try to win and be like, yo, this is like for real. We're not playing that people. We need every vote here, kind of thing. We like there's also a number of black candidates that are really good. Frankly, I'm sorry, you could put up a fucking horse against a woman right now in America and the woman would lose. That's all I'm going to say about that. Thank you guys for watching. This was an amazing episode too. I actually restarted it a couple of times just because I don't know, I guess nervous in a sense, and I don't know why, because this was actually really good. So thank you for watching. Episode will come out episodes weekly, and honestly probably more than weekly until I get enough to get a Patreon. Half of it will be there, half of it will be here. But I'm Avion Smith. These are my weekly funnies, my weekly topics, and I'll see you next week. Deuces.